I've worked with hundreds of women entrepreneurs to help them market their businesses. Behind their businesses, they all have stories to tell. Whether it's battling mommy guilt, starting a business after being fired from a six-figure job, or realizing they needed to pivot and forge an uncharted path, they've all experienced something on their journey to success. I'm one of these women too, and I'm here to share our stories on Bright Girls in Business. Hey y'all, it is Chanel here with the Bright Girls in Business show. We are back another Wednesday, and this week I have a very special guest, a very special guest with me. A near and dear friend of mine, Mr. Nelson White.
What's up?
What's going on? What's going on? We are here today, and we are talking about what men want and what women need. Now, if y'all are watching this and y'all are watching live, even if you're watching the replay, I need you to tap into these comments because I'm sure you're going to have some things to say and a perspective to share. And I want to hear from you, and I want to dialogue and interchange with you. So make sure that you tap in and let us know. First of all, let us know where you are checking in from. And, if you're single, drop something in there. You don't know. Maybe you'll meet somebody in the DMs in the comments or something. I don't know.
Not the DMs.
It goes down in the DMs. It goes down in the DMs.
See?
That's what they say. I don't know. So let me introduce you to Nelson. So he is the owner of Wing Snob in Frisco, Texas. And by day, he's a government contracting manager for a global tech company. In a previous season, he was a life coach and motivational speaker, and he is also single, ladies. So look, hey, it's all dibs off. If you want to holler at him, I'm just a facilitator of the show. Go ahead. Like I said, it goes down in the DMs. That's all I'm saying.
Don't get me in no trouble.
I ain't gonna. No, we ain't gonna get him in no trouble. We ain't gonna get him in no trouble. But he's one of the nearest, dearest, closest, the most treasured people in my life right now. And so I wanted to bring him on the show because we always end up going back and forth, interfacing about relationships and dating and men versus women and all this stuff that we talk about. And I was like, you know what? Let's talk about this on my show because it's so many women that are in professional spaces or even entrepreneurs who are single, and they're wondering, like, what's going on? Why is it so hard out here? And men, too. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So, again, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so let's go. So we already been talking before we got on the show and all of that stuff.
Right.
And, just to set it up, most people, watching already know I'm single. I'm here in Dallas. I've been here 10 years, and it's been really... I don't even know what to say. It has been basura, okay?
Right.
Trying to date, trying to whatever, connect with people, all of that. It's just been terrible. And I just want to know, like, from you, is it hard for guys too?
I'd have to say yes. I have to say dating in Texas is very different from dating in, let's say, Detroit, where I'm from, Michigan. It's totally different. There are a lot of different things that add into the difficulty in dating in Texas.
Okay.
But I'd say it's very difficult here in Dallas.
So what do you think is adding to the difficulty? Because you're from Detroit, I'm from the Midwest too, and I promise you, I never had problems when I was at home. Like, I kept somebody. Like, I had a lineup. I had a Rolodex. I had a black book. I had some contacts.
I got you.
And then it seemed like I moved here, and then it was like just desert. So what's the difference? What do you see as the difference between home and here?
I think in my opinion, this is just my opinion.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
In my opinion, I think one of the differences is one of the things that sparked you and I. We are both from the Midwest. Communication. We communicate alike.
Yeah.
It was kind of similar. You knew when we started talking, hey, you're from the Midwest. Where are you from? That's one barrier I see here is mostly everybody's a transplant from somewhere. that means everyone has a different mode of communication.
Yeah.
We're talking, but we're not talking to one another. If I'm from Michigan, I've only been here 5 or 6 years, but I still talk as a Michigander. And so if I'm speaking with someone from, let's say, California or New Orleans or somewhere like that, there's a different dialect. There's a different communication mode, which I think that's one of the problems. And I think the other thing is that we're all from somewhere else. And we're trying to find our spot here. And this place is huge.
Yeah.
So we're kind of spread out. This place is huge. I mean, you can find different types of communication, different types of people in areas that are 45 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour apart.
Oh, yeah.
Totally different. So I think those are just some of the problems we encounter when we're dating here.
Yeah, I can agree. Because when I first got here, I am very used to, I'm going to say the word, but I don't mean it in a negative connotation. Aggressive men. Like masculine, like, rah, you know, like.
Right. On the attack.
Yeah, like I'm used to that. I'm used to not having to question whether he want me. Like he gonna let you know, like, hey.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
Whether I'm at the gas station and I'm in my jogging pants, sweatpants, whatever. Whether I'm at the grocery store, the mall, it don't matter. They coming. Like they coming. It's almost funny because even when I go home now, I can go home and if I go if I'm just out and about, I'm gonna pick somebody up. I'm not making it up. I have literally witnessed this on numerous trips back home.
Wow.
And then I come here and it's like, guys, do not speak to women. They don't talk to you out in public. They stare across the room. And I'm like, okay, what, like, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Even like a couple weeks ago, I went over to Lava Cantina and I'm like, I'm feeling good. I'm looking great.
Right,
like,
right.
I was looking real
You're
good.
You're good.
I was in my bag. And then the guys was just like either staring or like you speak to them and then they're like, oh, like they shook up. And I'm like, what is, I don't know. So you're right. I think it's,
I think it's, we have several things going on. I think communication. Also, I think the dating game has changed over the years where men don't have to be so aggressive. And you have the advent of apps. And you have an app specifically for women, like an app like Bumble or something, where women do the first acknowledgement of a guy or something. So I think the game has changed in a lot of different ways. So to expect what used to happen, I think is misleading.
yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah, social media, it seems to have like dumbed us down a little bit. Basic communication is not what it used to be.
No.
Like you used to have to meet somebody out, have a piece of paper and a pen to write the number down, right? You didn't even have a cell phone to store it. You had to write the number down, put it in your pocket,
Yeah.
get home and hope that that's the right number that they gave.
Yeah, it wasn't dollar joke.
Now, I can't even give nobody a fake number if I want to because they're going to call me right there on the spot,
then.
So it is very different. And I think just switching from like analog to digital has been really, really weird. And like you said, it has positioned for me as a woman. I think a lot of women have made it too hard for other women because they're making it too easy for men. Yeah, a lot of women here in Dallas are very, I'm going to say Dallas. I don't know anywhere else because this is just where I've been. They really aggressive toward men. So men, y'all like seem to think y'all the prize now. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I try to stay away from one person, one gender being the prize and the other person not being the prize. That adds to the confusion.
Okay.
It adds to the confusion. It does. We're already miscommunicating. So I don't want to add to the confusion. But I do believe social media has done more harm to dating than it has helped. Social media creates a impersonal way of communicating. And getting to know someone is kind of personal. So it's impersonal on a whole nother level. And now you have this way of communicating, of showcasing, like an Instagram or used to be Facebook, where you see this person before you get to know them. You get a perception of this person before you get to know them.
Perception.
Right. What they want you to see.
Yes.
So that's not communication. You just develop an opinion about that person, but it's not communication, which I think all that adds to, clouding or making the water muddy when it comes to communicating with someone or getting to know someone. I think all that. I mean, how can a man, and this is, we talked about this, how can a man compete with your DMs?
Let's go.
How can I compete with you? If you have Instagram and Snapchat and you got all that and you got a bunch of followers and that's the way it's going. We all know that you get a good feeling when you get your likes and you get your DMs and you get someone say, "Hey, cutie." One guy that actually wants to get to know you can't compete with that. I don't think.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why I differ.
All right,
First of all, I hear of a lot of people saying, "Oh, this guy was in my DMs." That's not my experience.
Okay.
My DMs be dry in them. I don't know. And maybe I'm not putting enough out there or something. Maybe I need to. I don't know. They don't like me.
But once again, it's the perception that your Instagram is a story. It's your persona on the web, right? So how that looks to people.
But still, even still, okay, let's flip it and say, yeah, I was one of these women that had guys just, DMing me all day long.
Okay.
Somewhere along the way, they gotta know it's not genuine. It's like a crapshoot. It's fake. It's just social media, right? Like, ain't nobody taking that serious. So, why would
Are they? Are they? You'd have to ask. Are they taking that serious? As these are all options for me. You know what I mean? When
go.
Years ago, when I used to go out, I used to think every woman in this place is an option for me.
Okay.
Reality, today, if you go out somewhere, less than 10% of those women are an option for you when you are looking for something specific, correct?
Okay.
So I think when we look at the DMs and you look at social media, it's very important to a lot of people.
Is it real though? Like, I'm not basing my life on, I got 10 DMs today, or dang, I only got 4, so maybe I'm slipping. Like, do people do that? Is that real? Is that a real thing?
You have to look at some people's Instagrams and look and see who's really tracking that.
And I'm saying it because you're not the first guy that I've heard say that. Like, y'all women be getting off on this attention and y'all be thinking all these men want you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's not
I'm not saying they don't, but I'm saying it is just another distraction.
Yes. Okay.
It's another distraction in the place where you're trying to get to know someone. It's a distraction.
I'll say I think the dating apps, because everybody, first thing people want to ask me, I get 2 questions all the time. And the first one is when I, tell them, oh, yeah, I'm dating or, whatever, but it sucks. Are you on dating apps? That's the first question they ask. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get to the second question later.
Okay.
And I'm like, I try it. My attention span, first of all, is like that of a gnat, okay? I admit that's 90% probably of my problem with dating is that if you don't catch my attention, like, if you don't stand out, I forgot about you. And
right.
it's bad. Like, quick story. Quick story. So I was talking to this guy, all right?
Right.
This time last year and then earlier this year. All right. So we were talking and consistently talking.
Right.
And around August, I changed my number. Yeah, about August, I
right.
changed my phone number, and I realized, like, dang, I ain't talking to nobody. What's going? This is stupid. What's going on? Like, my phone ain't ringing, and I'm like, man, I don't even know who to give my number to anymore because I lost the numbers.
Right.
So I posted on Facebook this message like, hey, y'all, I changed my number a month ago, and I don't know who I need to be calling. Whatever. About a week later, I went out and I seen dude. He was with a whole other chick, right? And when I seen him, I said, I didn't give him my phone number. Like, I remembered when I seen him, then I remembered him.
Right.
But I had totally forgot. Like, I'm bad. So my attention span is that of a gnat. If you don't catch my attention, you pretty much, I got to do better. I say all that to say, dating apps ain't good for me because my attention span is that of a gnat. You swiping. And it's like a smorgasbord of people. And to your point, it's like, oh, it's always somebody better, right? That's the perception. It's always somebody better, or it's always somebody else, or he didn't work, so I just swipe again 10 times and woo, somebody else will magically pop up.
Right.
And I think that's keeping us from connecting because we take each other for granted.
Yeah.
I think we take each other for granted.
I think the swiping, once again, it's another distraction. And when you ultimately want to get to know someone, it's one of those things that draws your attention away. And it would really, over time, destroy your opportunity to get to know someone. And I think we have to levy that on how bad we want a relationship.
Yeah.
Or how bad you want to get to know someone. I think all those are things that are distractions to getting to know someone and actually dating.
So here's another question, because I think, I don't know. I feel like I'm lost in the sauce. Like, for real. I really. So that's why I have these conversations, because they help me along the way. They give me clarity.
Right.
Do you know what you're looking for? And if you saw it or met it, would you know?
I think this is my analogy.
Go ahead.
I don't present myself as a new car. I'm not a 2023 model. Slightly used.
Not slightly used.
I'm slightly used, okay? So I ain't looking for a 2023 model.
Okay.
And it has taken me some time to learn what I need in a relationship. It has taken me some time, maturity, some screwed up relationships to learn what Nelson needs out of a relationship. Because if you don't, first of all, have a reason to be in a relationship, it probably won't last. And that's the other thing about dating. I think most of us are just dating, but we don't really want a relationship. Because there's some work, right? I mean, there's some work with that. I mean, you have to go beyond your stop signs. You have to go beyond, I didn't like your text. You have to go beyond one hard conversation. You have to look beyond the perception of a person if there is a relationship to come out of it. That's true. Most of us, we're dating, but a lot of us don't really want a relationship.
I'm gonna be honest. That just like that gut punched me a little bit because I had to check myself. Like I just said, before I used to, have quite a few, hey guys, whatever, that I would talk to. And then like around this time last year, I don't know, I got bored or something. And so I just started like talking to a bunch of guys. Talking to a bunch of guys again. So I had me like a little roster starting up last year, right?
Okay,
I had a little starting lineup going, And then I realized, like you said, what am I doing this for?
Right.
Why am I talking to these people?
Right.
Right. If I could forget to give him my phone number, if it didn't dawn on me that I
Right.
wanted to continue,
Right.
like
Right.
I'm collecting people. Like
Right.
that's what it felt like to me. Like I'm
Right.
just talking to people just to be, because I'm supposed to be dating or whatever, right? And I had to question myself. I had a guy that I was talking to, you know, what do you need? What do you want? I mean, asking all the right questions and all the right things, and I had no answer. I literally had no answer because I hadn't sat with myself to think about that. I've thought about business. I've thought about career. I've thought about whatever, you know,
Right,
whatever else
right,
in my life.
right.
But I hadn't really sat and figured out what does Chanel need and what
Right.
does Chanel really want and what is going to complement my lifestyle and add to it instead of take away from it. And so that's when I kind of just started, like, you know, pulling back, because I'm like, first of all, this ain't going nowhere.
Right. Right.
It's
right.
going absolutely. And this is just I get tired of GM, WYD every day. Come on, it's only so many WYDs you gonna give me
I
before.
can't tell you have a good. How was your day? I can't ask you.
You can
that
say how
for
was
6
my
months?
day, but you're not gonna say what you're doing for every morning and then, you know, or every day, and then you're not doing that. Like, come on, bro, what we doing? So, and that goes back to communication. I think
Right.
we like, men, if you watching this, don't stop the WYD, okay? Just end it. Like, women don't like WYD. Don't do it.
But we talked about this.
Come on, then. Let's talk
Remember
about it.
we talked about
we
this?
did. What?
Okay,
Come
so
on.
a
'Cause I
simple
still don't want
WYD could be me just checking to see if you're available. Here's why. Here's the thing we're not talking about. Everybody is busy nowadays.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody has got one job, maybe two jobs, something else going on the side. Everybody is busy.
Okay.
So I'm not saying all WYDs are bad or good. I'm saying a lot of times I'm thinking about you. What are you doing? Now, if you busy, I'm good with it. Cool. You busy. Because you're going to let me know if you're busy. But if you're not busy, that's an opportunity for us to do something. I'm not defending, but I'm just saying you can't knock a WYD.
But a WYD. But if that's your whole like that's your
Okay, I got
whole
you.
MO
I got
all
you.
the time,
I got you.
every time, and then you say WYD, and I say, oh, nothing, I'm just chilling. I ain't doing nothing.
Then you go blank.
Like, what? Like, what was the reason, sir? What was the point of this? Like, are you gonna plan something? I am hey, I need you to be ready by 7:30 kind of girl. Like, make a plan.
Right.
And I think that goes into just like overall relationship for me. Like, that WYD shit is a turnoff.
Okay.
Woo, like I'm getting hot right now talking about it because it burns me. Okay, it burns me.
Right.
Because, okay, you talk about relationship, you talk about what women need and all of that other stuff. Women need men who take action. All right, women need to know that they can follow you because y'all want us to submit. Y'all want us to follow, y'all want us to, all that good stuff, make you feel like the man in a relationship. Well, I need you to make a plan and follow through and stick to your word. That's another thing. Like, I can go there, but tell me what you want me to do. And I'm okay. Like, all right, you want me to be ready at 7? What I need to wear? Do I need to wear some jeans or I need to put on a dress? Put on a dress. I'm gonna take you somewhere. Oh, great. What? That is sexy.
I think we have the cart before the horse.
Okay, come on. Come on. Because we do this.
You have to. It takes time to get to where you were. I'm just saying.
I ain't saying. Okay, here's the thing.
It takes time.
I'm not saying that you're gonna do that on the first date because on the first date I might be like, what, like,
Right, but it takes time to get to a place where you can communicate on that level. Once again, we're talking about miscommunication on every level, right? So it takes time to get to the place where we're planning dates like that, right? I'm just saying.
All right.
It takes time. Hopefully, you will have had a couple of good conversations that you can learn or gauge who this person is. But the problem we're having is we're having these micro conversations and we're expecting what you're talking about from these micro conversations. A bunch of text back and forth is not a conversation.
No, it's not.
Good morning. How was your day? Fine. It's not a conversation.
It's not.
So we're having micro conversations, and the minute, let's just be honest, the minute someone doesn't like your conversation or your text or how, it's over. Ghost time. We starting over someplace else, and now you've had a micro conversation that led to nothing, and it's moved on, right? So how do we get to a real conversation where you do get to a date with someone that is, a setup date that you want to spend time with that person? Remember, all I got was the perception of your.
Okay, so we're going let's go beyond. All
Okay.
right. Yes, that's first meeting, all of that. Fine. But if you don't have no conversation, now I'm not talking about you. You got conversation. We talk all day long.
Oh, we talk all the time.
Whatever. We talk all day long. It's a lot of men that don't have no conversation. Like, no conversation. I'm talking like, we'll sit on the phone, dead air, and I'm like, I done cooked my dinner, and I'm like, okay, all right. Like, what we doing? Because I'm looking at 20 ticks on my phone, and you ain't saying nothing worth nothing. I got to go.
I think conversation, it is, once again, as we've gotten away from real communication, and I think it's a lost. I don't know if it's a skill or not, but being able to communicate with someone takes both people and having conversations that are open that would lead to more communication, and I think we find that lacking a lot. Yes, because maybe one person's not really able to communicate or don't want to communicate. It's an art. It's an art to have a conversation. But
and I'm a conversationalist. Like, I'll talk to anybody.
Right.
I don't meet a stranger. I'll strike up a conversation with anybody, and I can go in so many different directions. So I think for me, when you get to talking about what people need and all this stuff, like, whoever I end up with, like, we got to be able to talk, because if I'm 80 years old and we sitting on the front porch, I want to be able to have a glass of iced tea and talk about something. Like,
right.
You got to learn how to talk. All of this staring across the room, I don't have nothing to say, I'm going to sit on the phone. I can't pull nothing from that.
I
and
get
another thing, getting back to the dating apps, this is something else. I'm going to connect with you, but I ain't going to say nothing. What is that? Like, okay, you've connected, I've liked you, you like me, boom, we made a connection. I say, hey, how's it going? I'm talking like Bumble now, okay, because I got to take the lead as a woman. Crickets. It's just, I don't know. I think social media and online dating have dumbed us down. And I want to get to a video.
Okay.
Because I want to get to another topic that we tend to talk about. Right. So I'm going to set the video up. So we're talking about online dating. We're talking about bias in perception. I mean, not perception, but preferences in dating. I'm a black woman. I'm on I've been on the apps. I've been on, oh God, I'm finna sound retarded. I've been on, I'm finna sound crazy. I've been on Match. I've been on eHarmony. I've been on Plenty of Fish. I've been on Bumble, Hinge. What's another one? I've probably been on there too.
Right.
Oh, I was tenderized.
Match, Tinder.
I was tenderizing real good for a minute.
Tenderizing.
I was tenderizing for a minute, real good. I've been on all of them, and it seemed to be the same thing. So I got off. I'm gonna let the video play for a couple seconds, and we about to talk about this because it has to be said.
Yeah.
All women, except black women, responded most to advances from white men. White women were twice as likely to respond to white men than black men. But white men preferred most other races over white women. Black men responded most to women of different races, even though black women were 3 times more likely to reply. A similar OkCupid study also found that black women are the least replied to group. 1 in 2.9 men respond. However, they are the most likely to respond, a quarter more often than other women. White women, on the other hand, were very selective, even though they were the second least popular female group.
All right.
Woo!
This video, I watched it. It's 2 minutes long. If y'all want to watch it, go on YouTube, find it. Just look up racial preference in online dating. You'll find it. Yeah. So this thing about, because I've seen it numerous times on TikTok, on Instagram, and all of that black women are the least desired.
Right.
All right. That's the narrative.
Right.
I'm going to put my narrative out there, and I'm going to let you share what you think.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I think it's a lie. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I think black women are actually one of the most wanted by many people. This is my experience. I don't have a problem with, like I said this last week, like white men, they seem to love me. I don't know what I'm doing nowadays, or where I'm going, or if it's where I'm at, or some pheromones I'm giving off, or something. White men, I don't have a problem with.
Right.
Latino men, I don't have a problem with.
Right.
Black men, I don't really have a problem with. I love y'all though, so I probably give y'all a little bit of grace. I don't really have a problem with y'all.
Okay.
Y'all don't talk as much. White men, they just got confidence, so they're going to come up to you. They don't care. Like, they're going to say whatever, and they could be way off. They don't care. They're going to make their point. And white women want to be us. Everybody want to either be us, fetishize us, have our bodies, have, all of these things. So I'm like, how is it that y'all can love everything about us but not us?
All right, so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to the video.
All right.
The statistics for that video is from social media apps. Who's swiping on who? So this is the understanding of who's swiping, the data of who's swiping for who.
Okay.
You have to take that as that is a population, people on dating apps, correct, as a population, and say, well, this is who's swiping. And I think it's also a numbers game because we are a small population, so we're probably a small population on the app.
Okay. That's fair.
You know what I mean? So I can swipe 5 Caucasian women and then 1 black woman, 5 Caucasian women and 1 black woman. So I think that has to play into the statistics.
But I also see something when I'm on the apps, so that feed into the statistic that they're talking about, where I'll read people's profiles and they'll specifically say, I'm interested in everybody but no black women. I've seen black men, quite a few black men, post that on their profile. Now, at that point, like, you have to pull for me. Like, you wouldn't even be somebody I would care about anyway. Whatever.
Right.
But I'm like, what is this thing? Like, what? I don't get it. What is it that is making it so hard for us?
I think we have some issues. Ultimately, one of the things that's really clear is we're probably the only culture that doesn't choose one another, that argues amongst ourselves.
We do.
You know what I mean?
We do.
That's a crazy thing that black women and black men argue amongst ourselves about who's good, who's bad. You don't really hear that in other cultures, saying, you know, my Mexican women aren't good, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a deeper level problem. But I think perception-wise, once again, it's perception. When you're on an app or something like that, it's the general perception of a person. If you look at the app and you see the photos, it's the general perception, and we take our own biases into that app. You take your bias to the app.
I do.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm
we
only
all
swiping
do.
on black men. I'm sorry.
We all do.
That's what I
you know
love,
what I'm
y'all.
saying? So just
Hey.
because it's the app don't mean your biases ain't with you in the app.
That's true.
You biased. If you don't like black girls, you don't like black girls on the app. You know what I mean? If you generally don't talk to women outside of your race, you ain't gonna do it in the app. But so you bring your bias to the app.
That's true. But okay, so even beyond that,
Okay.
going. Let's go to what you just said. We're the only people that tend to want to pit ourselves against it. That is weird to me. It's very weird.
It's weird.
And I'm gonna tell you why it's weird for me. All right. You know, I hang with y'all. I hang with a group of guys all the time.
Right.
Our conversations typically lead to these types of things.
Right.
And we go back and forth. We laugh, we cuss, we whatever, and we move on. It's no blood lost, no love lost, whatever. And I really feed off of my interactions and my relationship with y'all. I respect y'all I do.
Right.
I love y'all. You know that.
Right.
So when it comes to these conversations, I see all these gurus and Kevin Samuels and
Right.
you know, what was the boy name that had the wife with the beret on or the bonnet on or whatever, and he was cheating on her. All these relationship gurus come on here.
Right.
And everybody got an angle. And all of that, all it does is lead to division. When I see you, I see our other friends. I don't want to say their names because they're not here, but y'all know who y'all are if y'all watching. When I see y'all are a reflection of me, to me. And even going to the bias, I think that's why I tend to lean toward, because the second question that people always ask me before, that, you know, are you on dating apps? Will you date outside your race? That's the second question. Boom, boom, all the time, boom, boom. And I'm not ashamed to say, probably not. I'm not going to say, I never say never, because, hey, look, I don't know, Matthew McConaughey or somebody might walk through here and sweep me off my feet, and I'll be Mrs. McConaughey. I don't know.
Okay.
But Mr. Jenkins, Mr. Jones, Mr. Williams, that's hey.
Right.
I just got a thing for black men. I love y'all. And when I see y'all, it's back to the language and the communication. It's a language we speak with one another.
It is.
And I don't know. I just can't.
I'm a black man. I've always dated black women, married black women. I think our communication is difficult because of who we are. And I think a lot of people don't want to deal with that. We communicate different. Black men and black women, we communicate different. Mm-hmm. When we actually start talking to one another, we communicate different.
And a lot of times we be saying the same damn thing.
Right.
We don't hear each other all the time. But most of the time, and that's something that I learned even in our conversations, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, ain't nothing I can argue. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, if you really are listening to one another.
Right, if you're listening. Yeah. And I think our communication differences have a lot to do with our path as African Americans. Mm-hmm. You look at slavery and race and how all that plays into it. I think all that has made us who we are and how we communicate. But I think when African American men and women communicate and find the place, it works out well. It really does work out well. We understand each other a lot better than we think.
We do.
And I think once we start looking at our strengths instead of our weaknesses or where we fall apart, we will find partnership with one another a little bit easier. But I think right now we're picking each other apart.
And letting a lot of, going back to social media, feed into these conversations. Like you have to be really cognizant of what you let in to your ear gate, your eye gate. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're paying attention and this is on your feed all day long and this battle of the sexes all day long and blah, blah, blah. All that energy is not positive energy. It's not good energy. It builds distrust between one another.
Right.
You know, I'm side-eyeing you, I don't know, or even that whole thing, thinking that everybody trying to holler at you. You know, like a lot of women, men, like y'all don't even want to be chivalrous half the time anymore because women don't want to accept it. Like, what is this thing that a man holds your door open and now you got an attitude? Or I see a lot of stuff like that, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Why can't we just love one another, look out for one another, be here for one another? And so that's what I really, like I said, I appreciate that about you and all our friends. When I need y'all, y'all are there. Like, and that, I ain't gonna lie, y'all have kind of made it hard for me to date. Because I'm gonna tell you why, y'all.
We got your back.
That's why. That is why. Because y'all will do more for me than the men that I date. I have had men that I have asked, oh, can you come and hang something for me or fix something for me? They can't never seen. I had one, I don't do that. I call y'all. Y'all reminded me like, hey, ain't I supposed to be down here to put together your furniture today? Like, where you at? I have had y'all pick me up from the airport numerous times. I can't call none of these dudes. I have had y'all meet me. It's dark outside right now. I need gas in my car. I'll meet you at the gas station. I'll come pump your gas. I have had y'all, when I was sick, when I twisted my ankle, bringing me food, bringing me all type of stuff y'all would do for me. And I asked one of these jokers out here, and all he got is WYD. Like, what? So y'all have kind of,
I think you opened up when we met, when the group of us met. We all opened up to be friends, and I know it takes a lot to become people's friends, but it takes action. You have to do something for a friendship. You know, it takes work, and I think we've all committed to it, and I think that's why we are where we are, where we support one another and help one another. But I hope we don't make it so difficult for you that you don't.
No, I mean, because y'all, it's some stuff y'all don't do.
Right. 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 We have a limit.
Yeah.
Where our friendship
goes.
What
I'm saying is, if, I look at it and I'm like, wow, why is it that I can call y'all, and then when I ask somebody else, it's always I'm a bother, or they blowing me off, or they, and it's like little simple stuff like that, back to my attention span of a gnat, that will grab my attention. Like, okay. Oh, wow, he took some time out of his day to whatever. Right. Like, all right. I remember. And I'm going to reciprocate.
Right.
Right? But I don't know.
Well, if we can't get beyond the swiping and the WYDs, we can never get to getting to know you well enough to come and hang pictures. And, you know what I mean? I think we have these barriers to get to anything worth having, anything worth talking about. We're so, I have to say myself, you see a red flag, you running. You ain't even moonwalking
out of there.
No more. You running. But is that helping or hurting in this situation? Is just because you saw something, you don't talk about it. You got the car in reverse. You backing up out the driveway. You out.
Listen.
And I think all that plays into this dating scene now. That's A friend always says, like somebody peed in the dating pool.
It ain't no pee. They done pissed. They done shit. They done threw up in there and then swirled it around and heated it up and put it on a plate. Like,
Put it on the
here you
plate.
go.
Yeah, it's definitely taking some turns.
Yeah. Well, I mean, always. I enjoy this discourse. We gonna keep talking after we leave here.
We always kick it.
But before I wrap up,
Okay.
I always ask my 5 questions.
Let's have it.
I told you I wasn't gonna throw you under the bus.
Okay, let's give it. Let's
ready?
roll. I ain't scared.
You ain't scared.
I ain't
All right.
scared.
You ain't scared. So let's go. Okay. So first of all, let me set this up. I'm gonna ask questions that you might ask somebody if you were getting to know them, like, on a serious level. Some of it's a little foolishness, but whatever. Because, you said it's hard for people to communicate. So maybe somebody watching and they get to know you better.
Okay.
I'm going to set you up to win today.
Oh,
I'm going to alley-oop you.
You always on my team,
Hey,
dog.
you always on my team. I got you. You know I got you. All right. So first of all, who is your hero?
My hero. That's a good one. My hero. I would have to say my dad.
I knew you was going to say that.
My dad.
Mr. White.
He had some things about him that I still have to work on now today. And he was a simple man. He was, wasn't very educated, but he was a simple man, worked. But some of the things he had about him, I still work on today, trying to be like my dad in certain ways. I'd say my dad.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could totally see that. And you look like him, too.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. So if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Somewhere on a beach. Doesn't matter the country, doesn't matter the beach. Doesn't matter the country, doesn't matter the beach. Somewhere on the beach. I like water. That's the one thing I miss about Michigan, is Michigan has so many beautiful lakes, and you can always get near water there. Here is not that simple. So somewhere on a beach, warm. I like hot weather. This cold weather ain't working good with me. Yeah. So I don't want to sweater today.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I move, you can always.
All right. I'm coming to hang out with you.
Yeah, come kick it with me. All right. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
My perspective on me.
That's good.
Nelson's perspective on Nelson. I've had to do some work on Nelson's perspective on himself. Still, like I said, I'm not a 2023 model. I'm still working to get some things together. So my perspective on myself would be the thing that I'm working to change.
That's good though, because a lot of people are not as self-introspective, and they just out here in the world just living and doing and fucking it up, and they don't realize it, right? Like it's everybody else's fault and all that, no self-accountability or anything. Right. So the fact that you can honestly say that, I think that's growth in itself. So, yeah. All right, what's your biggest fear?
Biggest fear is failing publicly. It's my biggest fear. Yeah. I don't want to fail. I always try to work on that.
Yeah, that's rough. And, all right, so this video, set you up. You done won. Somebody done slid in your DM. Now, boom. Oh, you getting ready to get married, right? We projecting into the future.
Okay.
What song are you going to serenade your bride with?
I'm from Detroit. I'm a big Kim fan. Share My Life. I think that will be it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you was gonna say another song, but then that wouldn't have been a good song. The song that you always sing. what's the song that you sang it at the housewarming? Anyway.
I love singing. I've always loved singing.
That's
I
why
don't
I
think I have a
asked.
great voice. I love singing though.
Man, what? That's why I asked, because you sing. You sing. All right, well, I feel like I knew most of this stuff, I think. I knew quite a bit of this stuff. But I feel like I still got to know you a little bit better.
A little bit better.
The conversation, as always, is great.
That's what we do.
So
we chop
thank
it
you.
up.
Yes, we chop it up. Thank you for coming. I wanted to do this because, like I said, there's so many women that don't always hear an honest man's perspective or can't hear an honest man's perspective for whatever reason. We have our blinders on. We have our blocks on. I wasn't always open to dialogue like this, so I appreciate it because it has helped me to grow, and I hope that it has helped someone that is watching to grow, somebody that's out there that might need to do some introspection and figure out what it is that they need to do to position themselves to win in this game called love, because I'm winning, you know.
Right.
I'm listen.
And we'll see what the comments come in like. We'll have to do it again and take the comments.
We'll see, you know.
We'll see what happens.
You know, like I said, now I need to check my DMs. I might have me.
Be blowing up.
You know, you might have ooped me and I'm alley-ooped you. So anyway, thank you all for watching and joining us and commenting and all of that other good stuff. Like this video, share it with somebody else if you found any value in it. As always, we will be back for another episode of the Bright Girls in Business show. And in the meantime, you can always watch a replay of another show. So make sure you subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching the Bright Girls in Business show. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching the Bright Girls in Business show. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video. And don't forget to subscribe and smack the bell so that you get notifications each and every time I go live with a new episode. Until next time, watch one of the previous episodes, and we'll see you next time.